do that, but most people do. And what we're going to learn in this presentation, I want you to take away with this, is you probably have some beliefs that are causing this to happen in your life and in your business. And the productivity hacks, although they're cool, they don't really solve the underlying issue. They're a band-aid. And we're going to learn some great ways that are easy to clear the beliefs that are causing you to be short of time. So, let's look at what this is costing you, having shortage of time. Maybe you have a low energy, you get tired, you end up being burnt out, you're not so joyful. Maybe you procrastinate. Perhaps your staff, who here has a staff? How do your staff, what does this do to your staff that you're always too busy? Anyone? Never ask them. You don't have time, right? Maybe they feel a bit neglected. Yeah, they're not. You're doing so many things yourself. They can't help you out. That probably doesn't make them feel very useful.
They don't feel important.
Not feeling important.
Yeah, they're like second or third in line.
Yeah. How would you feel if you were being treated that way? Not so great. Maybe you have difficulty with hiring other people to help you out. Delegating. And there's all kinds of issues on health. Does anyone here have health challenges because they work too much? Neck problems, back problems. Yeah. Headaches. Stomach issues. What about family issues? Anyone here been divorced? Had relationship issues? Spouse? Yeah. Twice. All right. Yeah, so this is, it sounds like this is like a small issue. I don't have enough time. It's not that important to deal with, but really it affects your whole business and life.
Friends have gone by the wayside.
What are friends? Social life.
Social life.
Yeah. Spiritual life. All kinds of things we don't have because we make ourselves so busy. So I interviewed a fellow DCer, and here are some of the actual, I kind of drilled down, well, what's this actually costing you? And here's what we came up with, that she was losing out on a whole bunch of sales, hundreds of thousands of dollars of sales, but she was so busy, she didn't have time to do the important stuff, she was doing the busy stuff. And she also felt she was a bit of a failure, because she could be changing the world, but she wasn't, because she was always doing these busy tasks. And she was a perfectionist. She spent a lot of extra time doing things. She figured she could save 20% of the time just by not being quite so perfect. And she had poor health. And she tended to eat ice cream when she was really busy, because she was a bit depressed and tired, so she'd eat ice cream or sugary things. But that really didn't do her health any good. Does anyone here eat an ice cream when they were a few people? Because you're stressed out. And she was really slow at making decisions, which really didn't help her business or her staff. So it can be very costly. Okay, what have you tried to solve this problem? Has anyone done time management stuff? Yeah? Productivity hacks? Got all of those, Max? Getting things done. Yeah, try and control your inbox. Maybe you use focus music to help you do extra work.
Drugs,
yeah. What's that drug that begins with M that people take? Has anyone here tried that? Yeah.
Ritalin. Coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Coffee's a drug. Alcohol's a drug too. When I was younger, I used to be working late, and I'd have a beer to kind of help me keep going into the evening. It wasn't really good for me, but there you go. It's a bit like when you play pool with drinking beer and working. One beer, you work better, but then 2 beers, it kind of starts leveling off. By the time you get to 3 or 4 beers, it's like, So, yeah. So the problem with these things, they don't address the underlying issue. They're applying band-aids to the issue. So let's look at what the real causes of this issue are, because they're really beliefs we have. Maybe you have lack of clarity over what you should do next or what your business should be, and hence you kind of spinning your wheels. Anyone here got lack clarity in any area of their business? How to do their marketing, where to sell to? Yeah, a few folks. And maybe you're not clear where your time actually goes. You get to work early, you work all day, but like, what did I spend my day doing? Anyone here have difficulty with focus and shiny objects? Oh, look, squirrel! Yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs have that because we're very creative. We want to try new things, but then it's hard to stay focused. What about procrastination? Does anyone here procrastinate? Woo, a few people. Perfection. Anyone like being perfect? Yeah, a few folks. How about resistance to delegating? Yeah, that ties in well with perfectionism. What about struggle? That's something we don't talk about so often, but do you find that some things in your business are a real struggle? You kind of make them really hard and complicated, and then you meet some other entrepreneurs like, oh, this is easy. You ever had that?
Definitely some tasks, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, this doesn't apply to everything. Maybe some areas of business, like maybe your bookkeeping's like straightforward, but your marketing's hard. Or the marketing's easy, but the sales is complicated. Or the sales is fine, but the legal stuff in your business is a total mess and a struggle. Or maybe hiring is your struggle, you know? So it could be different areas in your business. It may be some areas you're just fine with, and other areas kind of create that struggle. And the problem with struggle is it's an emotional drain. Because you're always worrying about it, thinking, oh, and that's how for me, that's how procrastination often happens. It's like, oh, doing my taxes is going to be such a struggle and pain, I'm not going to even try doing that.
Yeah, I find myself working on one task more so because I want to push off that other one.
Oh, great strategy. Keep real busy on this task so I don't have to deal with the other thing. Whoops. Screen went away. Come on, screen, come back. Another common thing is picking the wrong market. It's a lot easier having a successful business if you pick a market that's really going and growing. I mean, it doesn't matter how good a horse jockey you are in a horse race. If you're the horse owner and you pick the star jockey, but the horse is crap, they can do all the kind of coaching and training to the horse and talking in its ear and nuzzling its mane and what have you, but it ain't going to go any faster than if you've got an average jockey on a really good racehorse. And same with a business. Doesn't matter how good you do. If you pick the wrong business to be in, you're going to have a harder job. So, there's a whole book on that called The Star Principle, if you're interested in that, by Richard Koch. So do the 80-20 principle. Okay. And maybe, does anyone here have low prices? No one. Ooh, 1 or 10. Because if you have low prices, you obviously have to do more work in order to pay your bills, and you can't afford to hire people to help you. All right. So what beliefs might be behind some of these issues? What about the hustle belief? This is incredibly common in the DC, entrepreneurs. You're supposed to be hustling. But a little hustle is fine, but like if you think you're always supposed to be hustling, working, 16-hour days and working the weekend, have to be busy, you're going to find stuff to make you busy and create crises to keep you busy. And avoid hiring people to help you because then you wouldn't be busy. And there's a whole bunch of beliefs, right, that work's supposed to be hard. Did any of your parents or teachers tell you work is supposed to be hard? Did you ever get rewarded at school because you finished some work early and it was easy? No, the people who get rewarded are the ones who struggle and work hard, right? Maybe you have a fear of clarity in your business. What if you were really super clear? You wouldn't have any excuses for not succeeding, right? If you knew exactly what to do and how to do it and everything, and who to do it with, then why is your business not successful? But it's easier to kind of keep your eyes covered up in certain areas of the business. What about boredom? Anyone here enjoy boredom? Someone does. Sometimes like not having to do everything. But a lot of people are afraid of being bored, so they keep themselves super busy so they don't have to deal with what might happen if they have nothing to do. Might have all kinds of terrible thoughts and worries that happen if they didn't stay busy. Or other distractions. Who here feels they're totally good enough in all areas of their business? So maybe there's some areas of business where you don't feel you're good enough. Maybe you've got some self-doubt. What about, I know I had this when I was younger. I used to, when I was in school, I got, love and attention from my parents when I got good grades. And so I kind of used being perfect in work to get attention. Can anyone have that at school? A few people. And then, what about this belief that only I can do this task, or only I can do it best? Anyone got that one? Yeah, a few folks. That makes it really hard to delegate. Do you see how each of these beliefs could lead you to be more busy than you need to be? And certainly, even if it's often easier to see the beliefs other people have than your own. Yeah. So some of these you may be like, oh yeah, I don't have that, but the people who do are idiots. It really makes them busy. But it's maybe harder to see your own belief getting in your way. But see if you can see all of these as causing people to be more busy than they need to be. All right. So let's have a look and do a deep dive into 5 of the most common beliefs so we can help to deconstruct them. Because the more conscious you get about how these beliefs work, the easier it is to see that, oh, this is a belief. Is this belief useful for me or not? And maybe it's not true for me anymore. Maybe it was true for me when I was a little kid or in school or in my first job. But maybe now as an entrepreneur, it's no longer useful. It doesn't have to be true for me anymore. It was a great thread. Did anyone see that thread in the DC about changing your beliefs? Yeah, John Ainsworth put together. And one of the things that came out of that is you can pick whether a belief is useful or not. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. Yeah? I mean, true is kind of subjective. So think about these beliefs being useful. All right, so let's dive into shiny object syndrome. Who here has shiny object syndrome? Nearly everyone? Yeah, most entrepreneurs have it. So the problem with it, you don't have any focus, right? You don't stay consistent on stuff. You don't keep your team working on a particular approach that will get you successful. It's like the 17 trillion ways to climb Mount Everest, and instead of just going up the North Pole, you're kind of like, well, we'll spend 3 hours going this way, and then we'll go this way a little bit, and then let's try approaching it through K2, and we could hire a helicopter. Or, you're never going to get to the summit if you are always trying different things. And it's great to be curious and creative, right? But it doesn't help your team if that's happening all the time. And I think a lot of shiny object, for me, is driven by fear of boredom. Yeah, if I just had to stick to one marketing method or one sales method or one market, I might get bored. That would be terrible. And that's a natural human need to want variety. But for a business to succeed, it's got to have some focus. And for you not to be busy, you can't be off trying 17 different ways to get to the summit of your business. And one way that helps me on this is if I have a big why. Yeah, if I have a why for my business, it helps me keep on going when the going gets tough. If I want to be the first woman to climb Everest, yeah, then that helps keep me going. Or whatever your big why is. Maybe you want to help little children in some way, or maybe your business does something else for the human life. Anyone here heard of Tim? Yeah? Here's what he had to say. If you have 1,000,001 amazing business ideas, you've got to ask yourself, who's going to run this idea? And it can't be me. Yeah? Because so many times we see cool stuff and then immediately we get busy on it. So the first thing you want to do to avoid getting busy is figure out, well, it's not going to be me, who's going to do that? Or maybe it should be no one. Maybe you should just go into the parking lot for a while. All right. Next one. Resistance, delegating, and hiring. Who here has difficulty hiring and delegating? Yeah, 2/3 of the people. And what about, let's add it in, that you have to hire someone who's reliable and a good staff member? Just to make it a little trickier. Well, why is the thing vibrating? Mystery. Earthquake. It's an earthquake! Woo! Some people are too cheap. Yeah, they don't want to spend money, which sometimes you have to spend money to make more money. Pretty often that's true. What about you need to control everything, so you don't want to give up the details. I know I have that. Or the belief that only I can do it, or only I can do it right. At a higher level, you could apply it to lower level stuff, but you may still be stuck at a higher level. As you grow your business, have you ever noticed that businesses tend to plateau? They get to a certain level and then they kind of get stuck. And often that's because the founder or the other senior managers of the thing have some belief that a certain level of task, it's okay to have other people do these low-level things, but if it's starting a new profit center, I've got to do it. There's no one else on the planet of 7 billion people who are capable of doing this. It has to be me. And maybe you deal, standard operating procedures and recipes are great, but sometimes people overemphasize that and they hire lower-level people to help them instead of hiring higher-level, more competent people and giving them key performance indicators that you measure, and they decide how to do it. They don't have to follow an SOP. They can be more creative. One other thing on here, I'm going to get these slides out in the thread for this talk, but I did a presentation on intuitive hiring to help with the hiring aspect, so we'll look at that too. Anyway, those are some of the beliefs that get in your way. Let's move on to perfection. Ooh. We've got someone in the photo being really perfect cutting their grass because they can't use a lawnmower because then every blade wouldn't be quite right. And that relates to only I can do it best, right? If you really have everything has to be perfect, otherwise my world will fall apart. Or my mother will criticize me if it's not perfect. Teachers will give me little black crosses on my homework. And it's going to get in the way. Who here is the face of their business? Yeah? Can you see how as your business grows, that's going to become an issue? Only you are allowed to be the face of your business. I know several businesses here who managed to get other people to be the face, or they had a cartoon as the face. Laura Rhoda has an octopus cartoon as the face of her business. What about standards? Are you really picky about how things are done? Maybe sometimes when you're doing brain surgery, that's important. Yeah? But other parts of your business, maybe it's less important. Maybe good enough is fine. And you could decide on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is it's really sloppy and 10 is it's absolutely perfect. Well, for this particular task, how perfect does it really need to be? Yeah? You could do that another way by time boxing things. Yeah? You can decide ahead of time, okay, I'm going to spend this amount of time on the start. I'll spend half an hour doing this new marketing plan. And that's deciding the level of perfection you're going to achieve if you stick to that time goal. Right? Have you ever noticed when you have a deadline, you suddenly throw out some of that perfection? You're like, I'm just going to get this effing thing done. So you can do that deliberately by time boxing your tasks. Does anyone here have difficulty letting go of things because you figure it's going to take more time to tell someone else how to do it than do it yourself? Yeah, a lot of people. Problem is, if they're going to do it again next week and the week after, it really doesn't take a lot of your time. Who here has businesses that they think are their babies? It has to be perfect because it's your firstborn. Yeah. What about mistakes? Who here likes making mistakes? Anyone? A few people? Yeah. Well, mistakes are a chance to grow. And you can always do a retake if you do a mistake. So if it's not absolutely critical for your business, and very few things are, it's okay to allow mistakes. And particularly if they're smaller mistakes. It's okay for staff to make smaller mistakes. We try and avoid making the enormous mistake. It's called A/B testing. Testing! Experiment! Pivot! Doesn't have to be all figured out ahead of time. Right. And has anyone used Ready, Fire, Aim? Yeah, you folks? You don't have to get everything figured out perfect before you take action.
It's actually a book called Ready, Fire.
A book? Yeah.
Okay. Nice. It's good. It's a good book.
Yeah. All right. Sister child of perfection is procrastination. Okay, who here uses distractions of any kind? We have a whole variety here. You know, you could use social media, your phone, alcohol, sex, email, drinking, eating, shopping, TV. Anyone use any of those distractions to avoid doing stuff? Yeah, just about the whole of humanity, right? Don't want to deal with stuff, I'm going to go shopping. Don't want to deal with it, I'm going to have a beer. Don't want to deal with it, I'm going to watch some pornography. Don't want to deal with it, I'm going to check my email 17 more times in the next hour. But also, doing busy work can be a distraction. I don't want to deal with this big headache in my business, so I'm going to stay busy all day. I'm not going to have to think about it. That's why. Yeah, I don't want to have to think about firing this person who's really not a good fit, or this client who's a real pain in the butt. So I'm going to stay busy all day, or all week, or all year. And I think a lot of procrastination is around avoiding short-term pain that's going to give long-term gain. Yeah. Maybe you don't want to address some of those other things, the fear of failure. Or maybe you don't want to address fear of success. Yeah, so you stay busy. Perhaps you have a work environment that tends to make you distracted and procrastinate. Yeah? Does anyone find that if your desk is a mess or your environment is noisy, it's hard to focus? Yeah? So that's something that you can kind of clean up. And final thing here on these things is doubt, right? If you're always doubting yourself, it's hard to spend full focus on your business. You know, if you're always worrying, did I write the right decision? Did I hire the right person? Is this the right business? It takes away a lot of time and energy. All right, we're getting to the point where someone needs to volunteer, so let's think about that. Coming up real soon. So here are all the pieces of this accordion knot. Lack of clarity, procrastination, perfectionism, shiny objects, not delegating, doubt, lack of focus, struggle, and not clear on your marketing model. And you've got a lack of time in your business, what I'm calling third-time bankruptcy. And here are all the effects of it. You probably worry too much, you overplan. Perhaps you have low self-esteem, you don't feel good about yourself when you do this. And you're not achieving as much as you could. You can have a business that's 10 times or 100 times bigger and be less effing work for you. Yeah? And don't make as much money, you don't have enough joy, and your probably health's not so good. Who is this character down here? I forget the name of them.
I just think of Twinkies, but I know... yeah,
they're a minion, yes. He looks very tired. That's how sometimes I feel in my business. All right. Ready to clear some of this, guys and girls? Yeah. All right. So we're going to use some intuition tools to clear them. I'm going to give you some non-intuition tools at the end for those of you who don't believe in intuition. We need some volunteers. Don't all rush at once. Okay, Omar is volunteering, and this gentleman here?
Tommy.
Tommy? Yeah. All right. Come on up, Tommy. Well, very brave. Hi.
Yeah.
Yes. Any particular area of your business that you kind of have this issue in?
Yeah, lots. I think perfectionism is definitely one of them. Certainly have problems delegating sometimes, especially when it comes to sales. I've had a big struggle like building my sales team, and I think a lot of that is because I think I'm really good at sales.
They are really good at sales.
I'm all right.
All right. Which of those do you want to pick? One of those?
Let's go with that one, sales.
Okay. So that's around delegating and feeling you're the best and the only one who can do it? So.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, something has definitely held me back from making that successful in my business in terms of someone else doing it.
Well, let's figure it out. First of all, let's see how much ease you have in sales. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where it's like total ease, it's 0, and 10 is it's like a complete struggle.
Yeah, 0.
complete struggle. No, ease.
Ease, right? Ease. 0 ease?
0 ease, 10 struggle. We're trying to get it down to 0.
Oh, we're trying to, so ease in terms of me doing like sales?
So let's restate your problem. Your problem is your difficulty delegating sales to other
Difficulty
people.
delegating sales to other people.
If you're doing it yourself, it's not an issue.
If I'm doing it myself, 0. 0. Super
Okay.
easy.
Okay. If you're delegating it, hiring other people to do it, delegating it to them.
Yeah, much harder.
Pick a number.
7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if we can get that down.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So we're going to start, and you can follow along at home, those on the video. So let's connect to the light. Just both feet on the ground, and take your consciousness up a few thousand miles up where you've got beauty. You can close your eyes. Beauty, light, truth, and love. And bring that down through the top of your head, through your neck, through your chest. Bring the light down through your stomach, your abdomen, hips, knees, feet. Take it down, down, down to the center of the earth. And feel the love, light, and support and understanding of Mother Earth. And bring that light back up. Your feet, knees, hips, abdomen, stomach, chest, neck, head, and up through the top of your head. So now you've got light coming from above and below at the same time. It's like one of those dividing highways. And now visualize your heart getting bigger, as big as the room, as big as the building, as big as the city, as big as the country, as big as the planet, as big as the solar system, as big as the galaxy, and as big as the universe. And notice how you feel. You can open your eyes. And now think about successfully delegating sales to other people. What numbers feel like to you? How's this problem feel right now, Tommy?
I definitely feel like I can do it.
Yeah,
Feel lighter.
feel lighter. Yeah, like nothing could stop you, really. You want to put a number on it? It could stay the same, could have gone up, could have gone down.
3 or 4.
Wow, you went from a 7 to a 3 or 4 just by spending a minute connecting to the light and expanding yourself?
I think so.
That's pretty amazing. Can you see how if you just spent that time to do that little thing before tackling a task like this in your business, you could be like much more effective? It's like you had one foot on the gas and one on the accelerator before. Now you've got both feet on the accelerator. You're ready to go ahead. Yeah. Right. If we take this a step further. You ready? Yeah. All right. Ready, man? So imagine all the beliefs and patterns that are holding you back in this area of your business. Imagine it's like a swirly spaghetti pattern of light. And then just the same thing you did to yourself. Just see the light coming in from above and below. Kind of zapping it out, washing it away. All those beliefs you've had in your life get in the way of high competent salespeople. Take the ball and run with it and generate lots of great sales in your business. Breath. Let go anything you don't need to hold on to. And now think how you feel now about delegating sales success. What number would you put on it?
I feel pretty good. I feel like I'm probably still at 3 or 4, but I think I achieved like a little bit more clarity on like what some of those things are that maybe I need to work on letting go of more.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when we do these energetic clearings, you might get more clarity on how crappy the problem is. Number might go up, but sometimes you have to do that. You know, when you're climbing a mountain, sometimes you have to go down a little bit before you go up again. Sure. Which is better than just kind of procrastinating and not going anywhere. All right. Let's imagine you had all the things. You probably think there's quite a lot of things you'd have to do in order to successfully delegate your sales. I'm guessing, is that true?
Yes.
It's like a little overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's very common for stuff we create lack of time in. We make ourselves overwhelmed, and then we procrastinate, or we prepare to do other things to avoid just getting ahead and doing it and delegating it. So what I'd like to do is all the tasks you think you have to do for this, whether you know them consciously or not, just imagine like a pack of cards, okay, and you spread them out around. And first of all, notice that you might have some tasks that you're not even conscious of behind you. So let's just bring those in front of you. And let's just take the cards that are less critical, a little further away, and one or two that are like these are the key tasks for you as the business CEO and owner. This is where you need to focus. Bring those nearer to you. And then notice how you feel having done that. When you think about creating this team system where they're going to create easy sales, good sales, business.
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of control.
Yeah. Gets rid of the overwhelm.
Right.
Very simple trick to get rid of overwhelm in any area of business. So what, you want to pick a number you're at now? Same, more, less?
Around a 3.
About 3. So we went from a 3, 4 to a 3.
Yeah. No, but there's
still something in there.
Something that.
Yeah, a little nub of something. Okay, we're going to work on that. You're doing great. You went from a 7 to a 3 already. You've only been up here 5 minutes. How long have you had this issue?
5 years.
You've had it for 5 years, and in the last 5 minutes, you've gone from a 7 to a 3.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah. Where have you done before? I mean, looking back, were you always at a 7? Or?
No, I was at a 10.
Okay.
Maybe above 10.
So your graph looks like this: 5 years, 10, 9, 7,
Yeah.
and 3.
Yeah, I think it's going back up to 10 and then back down to
Did
7.
a few ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we're going to fix this permanently. Awesome. Yeah. All right, let's try my favorite question. What would it take? You've probably seen this in the VC forum, WWIT. So, what would it take to clear this issue permanently now? And I'm just going to ask the questions. You don't have to give answers. They just percolate in your mind. Right? And just asking the question starts to create clarity and clear stuff. Sometimes you'll get intuitive things in your mind. What would it take to stay focused on creating a sales team and process? What would it take to easily stay focused? You would stick an extra word in easily, or make it fun. What would it be for it to be easy and fun for me to create this sales team and process? What would it take for it to be safe, bright, and good for you to have a successful sales team and process? Because often we make it that it's not going to be safe if I have this. What if they get out of control and they sell $1 million of stuff and we can't deliver it? What would it take for sales in your business to be easy, clear, and simple? What would it take to delegate this task easily? What would it take to hire an ideal salesperson this week? And what would it take to trust yourself 100% in what you're doing? So let's just check in how you feel now having asked these questions. And if you're doing this on your own, you can take time to journal about this, or just meditate on as many what would it take questions as you came up with. So we're running you through it real quick on this. Yeah. Do you need some water?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You're good?
I got another bottle right now. Okay.
Yeah, because often when we're clearing stuff, we move energy, we need to drink. Or we have to deal with water at the other end of our body.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel my mind iterating through solutions.
Wow. If you have to pick a number, what number are you at now? Up, down, same.
I think I'm down 2. I feel
You went to a 2?
I feel very relaxed.
That's a 33% improvement over how you were a minute ago. All right. Let's see how far we can go.
Let's do it.
Let's try some more. What would it take? What would it take for you to deserve a successful sales team? Sometimes we don't feel we deserve to have an easy and successful life. What would it take for you to be more than good enough to have a successful sales team? What would it take for you to have a successful sales team even if you make mistakes? What would it take for you to love and accept yourself if you make mistakes with your sales team? And here's a question you can answer. What are you afraid of feeling if you weren't always so busy? What comes to you? Ready?
Yeah, boredom. Maybe trying to figure out how to deal with focusing on the things that actually really do matter, and maybe not feeling like I'm prepared to work on those things. Maybe a feeling of inadequacy in terms of like focusing on the things that I know more successful entrepreneurs than myself do. Maybe some comparison going on there. Yeah.
Wow. Bit painful to think about, really. Yeah. That's probably why you keep so busy. All right. Ready to go further?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go into your childhood now. Because a lot of these beliefs get formed between the ages of 0 to 7, right? You know, if you've ever had, you've noticed this in other people. Probably it's harder to see this in ourselves, but you ever know, if you ever had friends who, like, they keep dating the same idiot over and over again, you know, they break up and then they immediately date another person who's exactly the same. And hopefully eventually they grow and figure this out. But we do the same in our businesses. Yeah, we keep repeating the same behavior over and over until we get able to deal with it, like Tommy here is bravely doing. So we're going to go back to his root causes. So when you think about hiring this sales team and having a system in place, what do you notice in your body? How's your stomach? How's your chest? How are your hands and legs? How's the temperature? How sweaty are you?
I noticed like a lot of tension in my back.
Where in your back? Top, bottom,
And my upper back.
upper back?
Yeah. Tension in my back and almost like some tingling in my shoulder.
Okay, so see, I just want to visualize you're doing this right now. You're hiring the team, you're putting the system together. You feel tension in your back. Anything else in your body? Head? Feet?
Maybe like a little bit of uncertainty, like in my abdomen.
Uncertainty in the abdomen?
Like
Any nausea?
like no, just like maybe like some uneasiness.
Uneasy? Okay. What emotions?
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability?
Like yeah, just feeling exposed.
Exposed. Yeah. Anything else?
Lack of certainty, lack of control.
Out of control. Out of control. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you to just answer it immediately from whatever comes straight to your mind. That's your intuition talking. You don't need to go to the second thought to analyze it. You don't even need to know what the real answer is. Okay? I'm just going to say what the first thing that comes to you is. Okay? So what's the youngest age you had tension in your shoulders, uncertainty in your stomach, vulnerability, lack of control?
25.
25? Okay. Is that a conscious memory?
Perhaps.
Yeah. So let's imagine your 25-year-old self, and let's connect them to the light and clear this moment when they were feeling all those things in their body. Let's clear all the outrage between then and now as well. So you can see like a whole sequence of views, starting with how old are you now?
32.
So you're 32, all the way down to 25 and beyond as younger. Let's clear this pattern. You think it's a younger age than 25? You have this?
Maybe. I had some trauma when I was 25, so that's
a big one.
It sticks out.
You okay sharing what the trauma was?
Yeah, I just had like panic attacks, just like severe anxiety disorder.
That would make me not want to hire people to do sales. Often when we have a trauma in our life, we recreate the whole situation in other ways in the hope that eventually we'll address it. Just like the person dates different people in the hope that they'll find one true love. Right? We create these situations in order to heal ourselves. So let's just see all the ages that you have. Sending light into them when they had this particular trauma, this kind of trauma. And notice how you feel about hiring a super sales team and great sales systems now.
More confident. Yeah. Less fear of error.
Wow.
Less fear that it even matters if it doesn't work.
You can have an experiment.
Yeah.
You want to put a number on it?
Maybe a 1. I still feel very, very confident in moving in that direction. I still feel like there's stuff that I haven't fully let go. So.
Okay. So making progress, man. Let's see. Should we go deeper? What do you think, audience? Should we go take it deeper?
Yeah. It's gonna get weird.
Well, we just looked at. You've got most of this clear. You're at a 1. What would it take for you to get to a 0?
Action.
Some action. What action can you take today? Even a small, teeny piece of action. You've got a break coming up of half an hour between now and next meetup. Could you get on the phone? Could you go into a Facebook group you're in for entrepreneurs? Ask for help? Could you post something in the DC forum saying, hey, I'm looking for this kind of person. Any suggestions how to find them?
Well, I'm actually currently experimenting with this again. I think putting a plan in place to connect with the person that I have already identified to really give them faith would be good. I feel like they're definitely lacking support and have felt like very neglected because of like my lack of confidence.
Could you arrange to have a phone call with them?
Yeah.
Send them an email and arrange a time for a phone call.
I can do that.
Take some action. Absolutely. What about, let's go a little more woo-woo here. Okay. What about, do you have a spiritual advisory board, Tommy? Do you have an advisory board of physical people? Advisory boards like a board of directors, but they're not directing your business, they're just giving you advice.
No. I mean, I have mentors and
Mentors, mastermind.
Yes, I have a mastermind group as well. Yeah.
Okay. So let's take that a step further and imagine you could have your own spiritual advisory board, but it's not limited to people you know who are physically alive. You can have any entrepreneur or famous person or author, or blogger, or podcaster. They can be on your spiritual advisory board. And you can say, you can ask them in your mind, well you know, who would you, is there anyone in particular that comes to mind you'd like on your board?
Oh, man. Yeah. I'd probably put Napoleon Hill on there.
Napoleon Hill, great choice. What would Napoleon have to say about getting a super sales team and system together?
I think he would talk a lot about definiteness of purpose and faith.
All right. So you see how this works? You can put anyone on this board. They can be a real person who's alive. They can be a real person who's dead. They can even be an imaginary person. You put Superman on the board. Or Ayn Rand. Or who was that character in Ayn Rand's novel?
The architect.
The architect. You can put him on. Yeah. Anyone you want. It's sort of like, you know how some Christians ask, what would Jesus do? You can ask, what would Napoleon Hill do? You can have Jesus on your board too if you think. I mean, he was pretty good at sales, really. I mean, he wasn't making money, but he was pretty good at evangelizing. Yeah.
Very good at publishing.
Yeah, exactly. So you see how that just expands the amount of advice you can get? I mean, maybe with some top sales coaches or sales managers, you know, you can throw onto the board. So, what number are you at now, having hit Napoleon give you some help and support?
I suppose I'm at a 0 if I'm ready for action. Like I'm actually ready to reach out to this person.
Wow, amazing. And you can ask Napoleon for advice, or anyone else on your advisory board, right? Hey, Napoleon, what's the best way for me to approach this particular person? What would you do? You can do this when you're meditating or in bed or wherever. All right. Ready for one more step?
Sure.
Just to make sure we've got it all cleaned up. And this is, again, a question you just can ask your intuition. You don't have to know the real answer. But how many ancestors on your mum's side have the same issues?
Millions.
Millions. Okay. And on your dad's?
Less.
You less millions.
Less. Yeah.
7 million.
Maybe a few thousand.
Few thousand. What about past lives where you had this issue? Whatever that might be.
A lot. Maybe an infinite amount of them.
So as a little home play exercise for you, you could like do that, sending the light to all your mum's ancestors or your dad's ancestors. We'll do a little bit now. And all your past lives where you had this issue. Clear that out. And less cord cut problems, you're not attached to your family patterns. Because often we pick up patterns from our families. So it's good to energetically cut from that. Have you ever noticed that did anyone have that when they started their business and their family was really anxious about you doing it? And they kind of says about, why didn't you have a regular job? Yeah, because they have their own beliefs, and what you're doing contradicts them, so they verbally do something, they do stuff energetically too, trying to get you to conform. And the same with this pattern in your sales team. So you visualize calls with all those family members and just see them being cut with a big knife. Or you can bring in Archangel Michael to cut them, or Napoleon Hill, whoever. And when you cut a cord, you need to look at where in your body it was attached. So let's just cut. Did you think your mum had this issue?
Yes.
Okay, so let's cut the cord with your mum. And where in your body do you notice that attaching? Intuitively speaking. My stomach. In your stomach?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you keep that attached for how many years? 32 years? 32 years you kept that attached with your mum. How did you keep that in place?
Maybe still relying on her for certain sorts of support. And maybe like permission.
I give you permission to have a successful sales team, a great sales process so you can take it easy. Do other creative things. You can give yourself permission. You can imagine your mum here. If your mum was really good, do you think she'd give you permission to have a successful business in life?
I think she would.
Okay, here she is. Tommy, you have permission. So let's just heal that part of your tummy where you're attacking. You think you need permission from your mom to do this. We talked about imaginary advisors on your people on your spiritual advice board. What about your future self? You think he'd figure this out a bit better?
I think he's pretty dialed in.
Why didn't you ask him? What would he say to do? What would future Tommy do?
I think he would be supportive of action right now.
How would he, is there anything in particular that would help you take action that he could help you with? Tell you?
I think he would highlight the fact that I've already worked through this a million times in my mind, and I'm ready to make it work as I've already laid it out, and just to trust moving forward with that.
All right. I'm going to suggest you write some things down, like you're standing over here, because you probably sort of know what to do when you need to like have a plan and lock this in place. Otherwise, you're just going to slip back. Repeat it again. So, and what would it take to trust your intuition more in dealing with this? I put some suggestions up for everyone else in the slides. What would help you?
Acted more quickly, but not only that, maybe creating more time to think, creating space for myself to think strategically, to put the plan in place to actually act upon it. I think one of the things that I feel like I'm lacking as we're going through this is having enough space to actually create the plan that I'm going to put in motion, because action without thoroughly thinking about it doesn't feel like it moves me. Like I have clarity on certain steps, but I feel like I haven't fully laid out what I need to before I need to start moving. So
Is that an action you should start today to start a plan in a Google Doc or something? That's sort of 5 minutes.
Absolutely. That might even be more important than.
Do you have a buddy here? Anyone you could call on as like an accountability buddy?
My buddy Alex just met.
So he said he's going to do 2 things today. He's going to initiate a meeting with this person who you hire, and he's going to start a plan. You check in with him.
I'm going to hold him to it.
Hold up behind man. Let us know in the thread if he actually does it.
All right, we'll do it.
All right. So let's give Tommy a hand. Thank you. Good luck. Love to hear how it goes. Here's a summary of all the tools we used. Yes, 5 minutes left. If you don't like any of this intuition stuff, here's a list of other things you could do to clear beliefs. All of that thread in the DC about negative beliefs. The key point I want to get over to you is that all this lack of time in your business is really coming from beliefs often that come from childhood. And there are easy ways to clear it. So you can identify what tasks you have, so you can be clear about getting rid of stuff that's really not in your pay grade anymore. Maybe you can change the model of how you run your company, or have a kind of team versus a hub and spoke boss thing going on. Maybe you can identify something I've done recently through the ultra working pentathlon. What's my most important work? And focus an hour a day on that. Just makes, often with important things in our life, if we just do a little bit every day, we can get a long way. It doesn't require mega hours. You just have to be focused on it and do it. And I mentioned time boxes earlier. It also helps, yes, nice bicycle there. It helps, as I mentioned earlier, if you pick the business model that works for you. I remember, did anyone here see Laura Rhoda's keynote a few years ago at DCBKK? She deliberately picked a business where she didn't have to be there all the time for the business to keep growing. And she went from 0 to $1 million recurring revenue while she took 3 months off. Business kept, your profit growth was still growing even if next. He set the business up to do that and hire people to do it. So, why am I giving this talk? I want entrepreneurs to openly use their intuition because they're going to be more profitable and have more joy in their life, and will also make less stupid decisions that hurt other people and hurt the planet. So, I invite you to join this idea and openly use your intuition like we just did here. Be okay sharing it. I really appreciate Tommy being okay doing that. And this is what I want you to take away from this, that your lack of time is not the real issue here, that's a symptom. You've got some beliefs, you need to dig down, find out what those beliefs are, and start using some of these tools to clear them. So if you want to learn more on any of these things, if you look in either of my books, they have a lot of these techniques in them. And I also have a podcast where we dig into some of these things and hear other entrepreneurial stories. And you're welcome to, I put a chapter of my book in the present slides. There's no option on that. It's all about making decisions, like I say.